flamingos is named Pinky. And Pinky I've taken on the Letterman show, and they don't like to leave. They like to be out where the people are. They just like walking around out here. Again, you can have a round of applause for Pinky. Everybody, when the cheetah comes out, please be real quiet. None of the kids get up, all right? We have to put him back if you do. Just be real quiet, and we'll just try and bring the cheetah. I don't know what's coming down here next. Let's go to your men, though. That's not the American bald eagle. That's Punky the penguin. This penguin's father, this is the Columbus Zoo, right, Ben? This one's father, by the way, at the Columbus Zoo was, remember Happy Feet with Robin Williams? They flew that penguin first class out to Los Angeles and had him walk down the red carpet with him when they opened Happy Feet. Everybody, SeaWorld, as you know, is one of the few parks in the world that has the cold weather penguins. You see the SeaWorld, everybody? The cold weather penguins? You're very lucky you see that. That's why SeaWorld's done such a great job educating you and helping the penguins in the wild. But out of 17 species of penguin, guess what? Out of 17 species, there are only five that live in cold weather. Can you imagine that? All the rest of them are warm weather penguins. This animal here is called a black-footed penguin, and it lives in South Africa. You know where Cape Town is? It lives in warm weather. Just like this penguin. Just like they do in the Galapagos Islands, South America, South Africa. The penguins live in warm weather, but only five, like the emperor, king penguin, live in cold weather. If it was, you see how cold it is today? Tonight's in the 40s, right? If this penguin were out there 2 nights, it would die. Can you imagine that? Even though it has more feathers per square inch than any bird in the world. The king and emperor penguin, you know, Martian penguins, they can go to 60 to 80 below zero, 100 below zero. But not this animal here. This animal eats fish, all right? A lot of the penguins in the Antarctic, at the bottom of the world, when I go there, they eat krill, a little shrimp-like substance. This penguin loves her. He'll follow her everywhere. What we have more fun with her, real quickly, what we do, because we travel a lot. So we get to a hotel, and very few hotels let us stay there, but we do. We will put the penguin out in the hallway and shut our doors in the hotel. So when somebody comes out to go to dinner, they walk out the door like this and go, God, hey, Marge, there's a penguin in the hallway. And of course, Marge thinks he's been drinking. And then we pick the penguin, put it back, and then we go wait for the next, about 10 minutes later, we put our kangaroo in the hallway. Then we get kicked out of the hotel. So thank you for Punky the penguin there. For the Columbus Zoo. I swear, there might be a cheetah coming out here. I don't know. In a minute. Everybody, this is really unique here. This is probably one of the only few you'll ever see in an education situation like this. What is this? Somebody knows. Echidna. So one person said echidna. Look at it closely. There are 2 egg-laying mammals in the world. 2 egg-laying mammals. The echidna and the platypus. Both from Australia. This is one of the few, the Columbus, this is in Busch Gardens. Maybe a dozen out of 220 have the echidna. Australia does not allow any of the echidnas to leave that country. It just so happens we had enough breeding pairs here that we can provide those to show you guys these animals today. It's almost like a porcupine from the standpoint that, yes, this is a means of defense. But they're not a quill that has a barb on it like our porcupine. That's not what this animal really is anyway. It's just used for defense. If you look at his head there, and there's a porcupine. If you look at the echidna's head, look at this, look at that snout there. Eating worms and grubs and things like that. Look at this close, everybody, because you will not see this almost in any park you ever visit. Can you imagine this animal, a mammal, laying an egg? Because an egg is like this. Can you imagine a platypus that lives in water? It looks like an otter. It looks like a fish. It looks like I don't know how to describe a platypus. Anyway, they lay an egg as well. This animal here is mainly nocturnal. It's very difficult. I've only filmed him one time in all my trips to Australia. I've ever seen an echidna in the wild, ever. This is a young one here, I think, isn't it? There's a young one here. Huh? 7 months old, this little one here. How long does it take for him to hatch? I don't know anything about it. 10 days out of the egg and 22 days in a pouch. Can you imagine an animal in the egg going inside the pouch? That's amazing. This right here is a African hedgehog, right? A hedgehog. They do not throw their quills as well. Now, this doesn't lay eggs, by the way. A lot of people have got into where they can have hedgehogs as pets. I'd be very careful of that. It takes a lot of work to feed these little creatures here. You can see they have to eat a special type of gruel, a mixture. This animal on the floor here is the largest porcupine in the world. By the way, I've seen them bigger than this, all right? But very few zoological parks have this. This is called the African porcupine. You see those quills there? That's what this animal does. Right now he's happy. But when he gets upset, what this porcupine, we'll bring him back out here if we can. Is he going to leave me? Anyway, that's okay, go ahead. I'll explain to him. I guess he's going to leave me. Anyway, that's the African porcupine, everybody. And they rattle their quills like a rattlesnake. If a lion comes up to him, they'll go like this. They tell him to stay away. If he doesn't, those quills will come out of his body, just like a North American porcupine. What happens in Africa, they'll get their feet and their face, and it'll get infected. In North America, if our porcupine here sticks a cougar or a coyote or a dog, 90% of the time that animal will die. Because those quills have barbs on them, the North American porcupine. And they don't throw their quills, you have to touch it. And with those barbs, they cannot pull them out. So that this animal you can. Those quills are used for weapons by the natives in Africa. For spears, for knitting needles, for all sorts of things. The African porcupine. This is the last one. If you be real quiet, we'll not clap for this animal until after the animal's left the stage, then you can go ahead and clap. But this is a cheetah. And by the way, you have the new cheetah habitat here. Have you seen the new cheetah habitat? Raise your hand. Beautiful. And what the dog is doing here, I have no idea. Now everybody, this is a cheetah born in what we call the wilds at the Columbus Zoo. And what you have here, by the way, at Busch Gardens, is probably the finest cheetah habitat you'll ever see anywhere in the world. It's unbelievable. Picture this cheetah, everybody. This cheetah is about 1.5 years old now. It's not quite full grown. When this cheetah makes a kill, when we film them in the wild, it takes us 3 cameras. 3 cameras. Why is that? Because the animal gets up to 70 miles per hour. And how do we know that? Because we clock them. When you go home today and you're on the interstate out here, go 65 miles an hour, please look out your window. Because if you were in Africa doing that, not that you would have this happen, but the cheetah can pass you. It's the most phenomenal thing I film in the world when it comes to a kill. It's not something I enjoy watching, but that's what happens in Africa, all right? But this animal also is very endangered. Why is that? Because it starves to death. Why would that be? It's not like a lion or a tiger or whatever goes to a cougar and says, hey, I'm hungry, I'm going to get some. This animal plans a hunt for 2 to 3 days. It'll follow a herd of zebra or impala. It'll pick out the old or the young first, and then it'll take its babies who are about 1 year old, and she'll plan a kill. She'll put a baby here that's about 1 year old. She'll put one over there, and she'll be over here hiding. So the zebra out there eating like this, the zebra goes, oh, those are just baby cheetahs. Not knowing that over here is the mom. Once she explodes, everybody, it's unbelievable. She'll get 50, 60 miles an hour. She'll make a turn like this. Not like a car, it'll go like this. Cloud of dust, she'll hit him. She stuns him. But 70% of the time, again, the animal gets away from her. So she has to rest. She has to rest up to 2 days. If she tries to kill again, and she doesn't make it, she will starve to death. At that point, when the cheetah does make a kill, they have to grab the neck. A lion or a tiger can hit you anywhere. And he explodes on it, you know. But the cheetah will have to grab the neck, either break the neck or break the esophagus, is what they have to do. At that point, they hold on, and then the cheetah will begin to eat. But you know what happens then? When an animal is killed in Africa, especially Africa, the buzzards and vultures will start circling over. Now the lion is sleeping, so the lion says, hey, cheetah made a kill. They'll get up, mosey on over, they take the food from her. As a matter of fact, lions have been known to eat the cheetah. Therefore, she will starve again as well. So the animal has a tough time. Busch Gardens here has one of a tremendous bloodline of cheetahs from Africa right now, which you'll very rarely see in these zoos throughout the country. We had 12 baby cheetahs last year. This cheetah, by the way, is a youngster that came from a mom, a first-time mother. In the wild or in the zoo, what happens, a first-time mother, she usually will always eat the babies, kill the babies. What happened was we were about 4 weeks off on our estimate. So therefore we got there when we saved 2 out of 4. Therefore you take this for education. The animal, again, if you look at the eyes real quickly, you'll notice some dark marks underneath the eyes there. Isn't it amazing that Mother Nature, thousands of years ago, when the cheetah came on the earth, that all of a sudden these animals have the dark marks because it hunts in direct sunlight. No cat in the world other than cheetah hunts in direct sunlight, everybody. No, none of them, except the cheetah. I swear, this is amazing, really. What you're seeing here, we're not seeing anywhere other than a few places. What happens, everyone, is a cheetah travels, and these two have been raised together since they're 10 days old. Now, This experiment might go to pot here in a few months when they both get old enough to say, hey, I don't like the dog, I don't like the cheetah. But that will never happen. This is Susie Rapp and all of her staff here who did such a tremendous 34 years. Susie Rapp's helped do the Letterman show, and Mr. Brian Green over there. All my shows for about 30 years now. They do a great job with our animals, you can see. So we'll we'll clap just a second here. In case you have to go to the bathroom, don't go right now. Unless you'll go 70 miles an hour. This is Valder right here, everybody, who's with Steve Martin. You see his bird shows all over the world. Valder's considered probably one of the top bird trainers in the entire world, this guy right here with the cheetah, the dog. So I have no idea what he knows about a dog. He knows about birds. Round of applause for a great job, everybody. So again, everyone, I just want to thank you for watching our shows Into the Wild, the Wild Countdown, that were started, by the way, almost 20 years ago, and now Nationwide Insurance is our sponsor, but now for 15 years, thanks to this company, thanks to the Busch companies and all the SeaWorlds, that's what brought you our shows for the first 15 years. So round of applause for them. Have a great weekend.